Hey there YouTube, it's Nick with Feeding Fitness. Today I'm going to do another what am I eating today video. This is going to look a lot different than the last one I did. Today's Monday and right now I'm cutting, and Mondays typically tend to be my carbohydrate refeed day. I'm going to talk a little bit more about refeeds as this video goes on, but right now I just got back from the gym and I'm really hungry. So first thing I'm going to eat before I even take a shower, because I'm that hungry, I've got a bowl, about 280 grams of strawberries and half a cup of fat-free Greek yogurt. You'll see in a little bit why fat-free or super low fat is going to be very important for this refeed. But again, I'll talk more about refeeds in a minute. Here's what the Greek yogurt bowl looks like. I've got some Walden Farms syrup in there, chocolate of course, calorie-free. Basically, I'm going to shoot for about 4,000 calories today. It's above maintenance. I like to go above maintenance when I refeed. Some people like to go keep their, cutting calories when they refeed and just change their macros around. I don't like that. I like to go above maintenance. And I also did my power workout at the gym today. It's my heaviest stuff, heavy squats, heavy bench press, heavy rows, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and eat this and I'll see you guys in a second. Okay guys, ate that pretty quick, took maybe 3 minutes. Like I said, I was really hungry. That's all that's left, completely gone. But now that that's out of the way, I'm going to talk a little bit more about refeeding and why I do it, who should do it. Most of you probably shouldn't, but I briefly touched about it in my video on getting to single-digit body fat. Really, if you're above 15% body fat, a refeed isn't needed unless you need just like a psychological break from dieting, in which case a refeed's not the best option. You're better off to just take a 2-week diet break where you eat at maintenance. A refeed is something you're going to do when you're dieting, maybe once every week, once every 2 weeks. Generally, when you're dieting, your carbs are a lot less than when you're bulking. So you start to deplete as the week goes on. Workouts can start to drag. You're just not feeling it in the gym. Your body kind of lets you know. And the closer and closer you get to single-digit body fat, the more you need to refeed. Some people, if they're at single-digit and they're trying to get lower for like competitions and whatnot, have to refeed even 2 times a week. I'm not that lean, so I only do the once-a-week refeed. You could even argue that I'm a little high on body fat to even need that, but it really helps my performance in the gym, so I go ahead and do it. Basically what I shoot for is to hit about 500 calories above maintenance. My maintenance is about 3,500, so I shoot for 4,000 calories. I hit my normal amount of protein, or I won't say my normal, my minimum amount of protein. I hit my 200 grams of protein, 1 gram per pound of body weight. And then on top of that, I go ahead and try and keep fat as low as possible, around 30, 40 tops. And this is kind of hard to do because lots of things have just a little bit of fat, and when you're trying to hit 4,000 calories, you almost get all your fat in what I call like ride-along fat. And then I'm going to try and hit 750 grams of carbs or so. Basically, whatever's left is going to go into carbs. So I'm going to have to eat a shitload of carbs. And this is where you have to be careful on the fat, because most of your carb sources have a little bit of fat in them. So my first thing I ate didn't have any fat in it. I mean, it was just fruit and fat-free Greek yogurt, so I'm fine there. Next thing I'm going to eat are some banana nut Cheerios with some skim milk. The banana nut Cheerios have 1 gram of fat per serving, and honestly, I'm not sure yet. Odds are I will probably eat this entire box before the day is over. 100 calories a serving, and there's 11 servings. 24 carbs going on per serving. And then the milk is going to help me get protein in, and there's carbohydrates in the milk too. Do they have macro? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, you probably can't see it, but anyways, 90 calories. It's almost all 13 carbohydrates, 8 proteins. So the milk is going to help me get the proteins in. I'm going to have a couple bowls right now. I'll probably shoot for, like I said, the box of Cheerios and 4 cups of milk when all is said and done. but I won't eat that all right now. I'm going to space this out over my usual 8-hour feeding window. So I'm going to go ahead and eat that, and then I'll get back with you when I figure out what I'm going to do for the rest of the day. Okay guys, I've been eating for about an hour. It's like 20 after 6. I think I started maybe an hour and 20 minutes. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to have what's going to be like my first big meal. I made some pasta with some shrimp. So what I've got here is, it's actually half a box of this Healthy Harvest all-natural whole grain pasta, spaghetti, and then just a thing of Prego Light Smart traditional pasta sauce. So I'm going to go ahead and have that, and while I was cooking it, I ate another 2 cups of the Cheerios and another cup of milk. So I'm going to go ahead and eat this, and I'll see you guys in a minute. Oh, and I forgot to mention that that pasta I had did have 8 ounces of shrimp in it, and I cut up some peppers, so there's more protein in that pasta. What I'm going to eat right now, these things, they're okay. They're Snackwell's Devil Food Cake. They're fat-free, so they fit macro refeeding pretty well. On any other given day, probably wouldn't eat them because they're not that great, but there they are, fat-free. I'll probably have about 8 of them. Okay, I'm going to do my next little snack here. I ate the pasta, it was pretty good. I made some donuts. If the recipe is tasty, I'll make like a separate video on this. They're basically pumpkin donuts made with coconut flour. I put a Walden's Farm glaze on both of them. 2 of them have chocolate on them, and 2 of them have apple butter. So there's those guys. That one kind of broke a little bit, so I ate it already. But yeah, I'm going to have these 4 donuts, and if they taste good, I'll probably make 4 more. So I'm going to go ahead and eat these. Getting to be right around 8 o'clock. I'm going to try and close up my eating before 11. So I'll take a little break after this. Oh yeah, and while I was cooking those, I ate another 2 cups of Cheerios with another cup of milk. Alright, those donuts were delicious, so I made another 4, and while I was making them, I finished off the Cheerios and another cup of milk. So I felt like the apple butter glaze was the better choice, so I threw it on those donuts, and I'll do a recipe video on those soon because they're delicious. So I'm going to eat those, and then we'll be pretty close to finished. Okay guys, this is going to be the last meal of the day. I'm going to eat the other half of that box of pasta and the other half of that thing of pasta sauce. And actually, I think I did a shitty job at measuring out half. I think I've got a little more than half to polish off here. But I'm going to go ahead and have that. And if you want to see my macros, they're in my MyFitnessPal. You can go ahead and look. It came out to be right around 30 fat, a little over 200 protein. Carbs were in the 800 range, but I think I got like 100 grams of fiber. I'm gonna regret that. But so those don't count quite the same. I'm cool with it. Under 4,000 calories, right around 4,000, which was what my goal was. So that's what a refeed looks like for me. I only have to do this once a week. It's not as fun as you would think. It's actually almost kind of a chore, but it really helps me, and it helps keep my workouts up in the gym while I'm on a cut. Important thing to remember about a refeed: try and ignore your scale weight. I might gain 6, 7, or 8 pounds going into tomorrow. Just because you're taking in all these carbs, you're refilling your glycogen stores, you're going to retain water, and there tends to be a lot of sodium when you do a refeed, or maybe it just happens to me. I got over 6 grams of sodium, so I'm going to gain a lot of water weight, and I'm not too worried about that. That'll come off over the next few days, but I'm going to go ahead and eat this pasta. Go ahead and click like if you liked the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you have any questions about refeeds, post them on the Facebook page, or you can post them in the comments below. I'll see you guys next time.